Good morning. Yep. Welcome to Troy University's Dothan Campus. I usually don't get excited about speaking in public because I'm not very good at it, but you can tell today with the smile on my face, I am excited for what's happening today. My name is Kirk Davis, and I have the privilege of serving as the Chief Operating Officer for Troy's Dothan Campus. Over the last 27 years, I've seen a lot of amazing changes take place under Dr. Hawkins' leadership, and I believe today's announcement will only further his legacy. Today, we are proud to introduce Troy University's newest doctoral program, the Doctor of Chiropractic. This program was just approved last Friday by the Alabama Commission on Higher Education and will be only one of two programs of this kind in the United States, and it will be the only program of its kind in the Southeast. I think that's amazing. Before we proceed, I would like to recognize some of our special guests. We have Donnie Chastain, who's on stage with us today, State Senator and Chair of the Senate Committee on Education Policy. Mike Massey, member of the American Chiropractic Association Board of Governors. Amy Devers, Executive Director of the Alabama State Board of Chiropractic Examiners, along with board members Renee Bowen and Brad Russell. Dr. Paul Weeks and Dr. Yolanda Brannon, members of our local chiropractic community. Representatives of the Hearsink Foundation, Brad Kane and Ashley Salmon. We have local and state government leaders, including Chairman Brandon Shoup of the Houston County Commission, President Matt Parker of the Dothan Chamber of Commerce, and a great golfer, by the way, Jody Singleton, Mayor of Headland and 8th Commissioner. Thank you, Jody. John Ferguson, Regional Director for the U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville. We have Dr. Kathy Murphy, President of Wallace Community College. Ms. Barbara Everett, wife of Senator Terry Everett, and if you're not familiar, you're sitting in Everett Hall as we speak. This building has been named in his honor. We have Board of Trustee member, Mayor Earl Johnson, and of course, our Chancellor, Dr. Jack Hawkins, Jr. We are honored to have each of you here today. Please welcome me, or join me in welcoming the Dean of the College of Health Sciences. He's the man that's got a lot of this going. I applaud his stubbornness and his tenacity to get this going. So thank you, Dr. LaGary Carter.
Stubbornness. Yeah, persistence, that's right. Well, thank you all for your presence here today. I certainly want to thank Dr. Hawkins, the Board of Trustees, Dr. Palmer, our Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and our Provost, Dr. Davis, the College Advisory Board for the College of Health Sciences, as well as our faculty within the College of Health Sciences, many of whom are here this morning. Dr. Brad Russell, Dr. Renee Philpott Bowen, and Mrs. Amy Devers. I'd also like to thank Representative Paul Lee, Senator Wes Kitchens, Senator Matt Woods, and really our state legislators as a whole for their support to bring this program to fruition. Indeed, this has been a team effort. It's a great time to be a Troy University Trojan and an Alabamian, particularly in the Wiregrass region. And let me just say that this is just the beginning. We are hopeful that there will be similar press events such as this in the not too distant future. I want to share a concise summary of future milestones to be reached to bring the Doctor of Chiropractic program to fruition and admit our first cohort fall of 2027. Now, you may be thinking, well, Gary, that's 2 years away. Well, in academia, 2 years is tomorrow, okay? First, this month, we will submit a substantive change prospectus to SACS for their potential approval of the program. We are optimistic it will be approved within the next few months, since Troy University holds the Carnegie classification as a doctoral research university. Second, shortly, we will advertise the program director position and form a search committee to hire this individual within the next few months. Afterwards, we will likely follow this same approach to hire the clinical coordinator, quite possibly this spring. Third, the program director will develop a self-study for the program and submit a letter of intent for initial accreditation to the Council on Chiropractic Education by no later than May 1st of next year. Fourth, the program director and clinical director will continue program preparations, such as, but not limited to, graduate academic catalog updates, meeting with community stakeholders, many of whom are in this room, meeting with chiropractors across the state, and aggressive student and faculty recruitment efforts. Fifth, and concurrently really with number 4, we will establish an application portal and timeline probably in the summer of 2026. 6, new faculty will be hired to meet student needs and curriculum demands accordingly as the program unfolds beginning in fall 2027. And last and certainly not least, we anticipate an on-site visit by representatives of the Council on Chiropractic Education to potentially award program accreditation sometime in the fall of 2027. Again, thank you for being here, and go Trojans.
Thank you, Dr. Carter. Well said. To share more about the broader impact of this program, we've invited several distinguished guests, and you can see them behind me. First, please welcome State Senator Donnie Chasteen.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Good morning. Pretty exciting day, right? First, let me, I think Paul mentioned that Representative Paul Lee, who chairs the the Health Committee in the Alabama House, who's instrumental in helping get this legislation moved forward, is unable to be here today, along with many of our other members of our delegation who had a previous commitment, or they would have been here today to celebrate this announcement with us. But I do want to congratulate Troy University on the AIC approval of the Doctor of Chiropractic program. Special thanks to Mayor Jody Singleton, a proud Troy alum, who serves on the AIC committee, for your leadership in helping bring this to fruition for Troy Universities. Thank you, Jody. This is another example of Troy's commitment to meeting the needs of Alabama's workforce and serving the people of the Wiregrass region. Chancellor Hawkins, thank you and the Board of Trustees for your commitment into helping us meet those needs. We've had conversations in the last couple of years with business leaders, elected officials, and healthcare professionals are really looking for, this is such a beautiful campus, and looking for how can we partner with Troy University to help grow, to help get more students and meet the needs of the demands of the healthcare field. So today's announcement helps us do just that. You know, Troy has a proud tradition of innovation and growth, and this new program continues that legacy. This was mentioned earlier. Think about this now. This is only the second public university in the nation that offers this program. And I was talking to one of the gentlemen earlier. The key is affordable. It will be an affordable pathway for these students who choose this healthcare field to get this doctoral program. It will also give us the opportunity to attract students not only from Alabama, but from across the country to Dothan. And we always say here in this area, once we get them here, we want to keep them. We want them to find out what we have here in Southeast Alabama. We think it's special, and if they can train here, we want to keep them here. But this does strengthen Troy's position, or Dothan's campus's position, as a center for healthcare education. And that's been the focus of our conversations locally is, how can we turn the Dothan campus of Troy University into a healthcare hub? And I think today is exciting news because it's the next step. We already have a very outstanding nursing program here, and this is just another layer of healthcare education that we can offer here on this Troy campus in Dothan. So again, let me just say this. I want to congratulate Troy on your leadership, the faculty and the staff for their vision, and for this being the first of many more announcements soon to take place in the future. This is an exciting time, and as I told Dr. Hawkins a minute ago, for someone who is the third generation of 4 generations of Troy alums, I proudly stand here today saying we look forward to the continued growth of this program on this campus. So thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Yep. Please welcome Dr. Mike Massey, Board of Governors, American Chiropractic Association.
It's great to be here today. I have a formally prepared statement, as you would imagine. But before I even read that, I think confidently I represent the entire profession when I say today we are all Trojans. This is a big deal. Thank you all for inviting me to be here today. I do represent the American Chiropractic Association. I practice in Tennessee, just a few miles up the road, have for over 3 decades. ACA is based in Washington, D.C. It's the largest professional organization of chiropractors in the United States, and our mission is to elevate the health and the wellness of our communities as we do so through promoting patient-centered care, evidence-based treatment, participation in the healthcare community through collaboration and integration with our other healthcare providers, and serving our patients in the interest of public health. I know that sounded formal, because it is. But it is an honor to be here. I really appreciate being here to mark the launch of Troy University's chiropractic program. As we've already said, it's only the second one in a public education institution in the state, in the country. I don't think anybody, well, some people understand what a big deal that is. Not everybody does. We've evolved as a profession. I've watched over 3 decades unfold and mature. One of the things I wouldn't say is a weak spot, but a soft spot has been the educational system. Many people have opined, not just me, but other people smarter than I am, that if we ever got our nose in education on a public level, that would change so many things about the profession. And I think we are today just a drip on the front edge of a ripple of a wave that's about to happen in chiropractic education. And I'm so proud to stand here and be part of that. It's exciting to think about the opportunities that this program is going to open for the chiropractic profession in areas such as research funding, collaboration with other healthcare professionals, and parallel educational opportunities. It'll also raise the visibility of the chiropractic profession in academia and healthcare at large, and it comes at a really important time. Not too long ago, we sort of had a crossroads between the opioid crisis and an uprising in research that expanded the effectiveness, showed the effectiveness of chiropractic and non-drug approaches along with the proven low risk of side effects. So we're having people, we're trying to get them off of medication, but as an alternative or as a better choice, finding conservative ways to treat them. And this is all happening at the same time, and that's why the popularity of the profession has risen. That's why the popularity of chiropractic education has risen, and that's why it's important to move in this direction. Groups like the American College of Physicians, the CDC, and the World Health Organization now underscore the value of starting with non-drug approaches as a conservative continuum before moving on to less conservative things like drugs and surgery and interventions. For more than 100 years, the chiropractic profession has been a leader in the conservative neuromusculoskeletal care pathway and offering treatments for a number of conditions and getting people back to their active lives. For anybody who's ever suffered from back pain, neck pain, headaches, or joint pain, and was helped through chiropractic care, it can be life-changing. And I don't say that to be dramatic. I see it every day in my practice. Today we find chiropractors not only in solo practices, but also in multidisciplinary clinics and on the staffs of major healthcare systems and facilities. They're on the faculty of prestigious universities such as Harvard and Duke, to name a few. They are advisors to important healthcare groups such as the American Medical Association, the National Quality Forum, and the Patient-Centered Outcomes Research Institute. It's a mouthful. That's why we call it PCORI. It's way easier. Chiropractors are also integrated into federal programs such as Medicare, Workers' Comp, Medicaid, and the healthcare systems for the Veterans Administration and the Department of Defense. More recent reports show chiropractors are highly valued in addressing veterans' pain and mobility issues, and also in keeping active duty personnel battle ready. And in the Wiregrass region, that has even a higher import, right? But it all begins with the chiropractic college. And today's students, including those who will attend Troy's program, receive world-class education that prepares them to thrive as they take on the challenges and opportunities of modern healthcare. At ACA, we're also here to help the chiropractic students learn and grow by creating a community that expands their perspective, develops their advocacy skills, connects them with other students from across the country, and educates them about the issues facing chiropractic professions and its patients, and preparing them to become the leaders of tomorrow. Once again, the ACA is grateful to be included in this event today, and we look forward to supporting the program locally and nationally. We believe that the profession deserves it, the future chiropractic student deserves it, the healthcare system deserves it, and more rightfully so, the future chiropractic patients deserve this endeavor. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Massey. I just met her a few moments ago, but I can honestly say I don't think I've ever met anybody more passionate about what they want to do or what they're doing, and just chiropractic in general. So please welcome Dr. Renee Bowen with the Alabama State Board of Chiropractic Examiners.
Thank you. Thank you. As he said, I'm Dr. Renee Philpott Bowen. I'm from Jasper, Alabama, so that's where I left early this morning. And I've been in practice for 41 years. I know you can't believe that, but anyway, I've been in practice for 41 years. My daughters are also in practice with me. They've been there 5.5 years. And 2.5 years. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen, we've witnessed what chiropractic does, and it's so exciting. I am the current board president of the Alabama State Board of Chiropractic Examiners, and I just thank the Lord that this was my time to be part of this and to witness what has taken place. I don't know if you understand the potential, and I've tried to share this with them. It's bigger than I know that even we can see, and you can talk to my children and those people that hang out with me. My imagination is probably way too big, but I don't think it is on this. What's going to happen is going to affect not only Troy, not only the state of Alabama, and not only this nation, but this is have international impact for us. I am also certified as a chiropractic sports physician, which is another certification that's offered through the American Board of Sports Chiropractors. And I'm also part of FIX, which is Federation of International Chiropractic Sports. I've worked with the Olympics, and just a few years ago we were in Birmingham working the World Games. And that's when we saw, I promise you, I started off in weightlifting, and then I ended up in parkour and breakdancing, and the first thing we heard, now that's pretty extreme, I'm going to tell you, especially when you knew not much about parkour particularly, and I didn't know how they judged breakdancing, but when they came in, those athletes would get off their transportation, they came right in, they wanted to know, where's the chiropractors? Because you know what? They already know that people are beginning to learn. It's not just about, oh, my back hurts. They know that we improve their performance. And we're seeing that more and more. Now, 41 years, and I've been a team doctor, field doctor with our local high schools for close to 40 years. And we see it's kind of fun now. That's what I was sharing with him. Some of the kids that I took care of are now coaches, and now they're sending me those players. Yesterday morning, before 7 o'clock, we had we got to the backs eventually, I guess, but there were 5 ankles, 2 shoulders, a wrist, and then we did get a neck in before 7 o'clock. So chiropractic is not just about spines, it's about how the body functions and how to make it work appropriately, and that's the fun part. Troy University is a great fix, a great tie-in for our country, because what we're going to see is bringing it all together. Not just about what it is in healthcare and getting them well and avoiding having to do more and more drugs, but we're going to see also there's a place for all of it. And that's what's fun. It's beginning to happen in my hometown, partly because my son's a baseball coach, my daughter-in-law coaches volleyball. My daughters that work with me are also softball and volleyball coaches, so that helps a little influence that we might know what we're talking about. But we're going to see that. I talked to a friend of mine who was one of my colleagues that we worked World Games together. He's from Denmark. And I was telling him, I said, hey, you're going to love this. We're getting a chiropractic school in Alabama. And in his Denmark accent, he said, so we can send students down there, we can send our people down to South Alabama. I said, yes. And he said, they're going to come back talking just like you. I said, well, you better hope so. So that's an exciting time. So it's going to be even an international, it's just going to be so good. But let me tell you, after we were in a few weeks ago when we were invited to attend the board meeting, Dr. Hawkins, you have a tremendous group. You know that already. Dr. Carter, you know that too. But let me tell you what. When I left there, I believe in excellence. I do not like mediocrity, and we live in a time where mediocre is kind of the standard. And that's a sad day to me, and I drill that in my children and my grandchildren all the time. Telling my 3-year-old grandson the other day, you're the standard. My 10-year-old looked at me and he said, man, I don't believe he knows what you're talking about yet. So, but listen, after we were in that board meeting and I heard the passion that they do everything at Troy University, I have told people that Troy is the place to be. And I mean that. I mean that sincerely, because I heard excellence. The thing that stuck out to me, he was talking about in the business school, they wanted people teaching business that had real successful experience. That's awesome. And that's what we want in the School of Chiropractic here, that it would be those of excellence, not mediocrity. We're not going to put those out for taking care of muscles and joints and backs and all that. Not mediocre, but it's going to be excellence. And after I heard that, I said, there is not a better place. Your board of your trustees, my goodness, I left here so full. And again today, I hope those state troopers are off the road when I go back. And tonight, I leave tonight flying out to Portland, Maine. It's the National Federation of Chiropractic Licensing Board that meets tonight. It's our district meeting. We meet this weekend, and I want to tell you something. I've already been told I can tell. I cannot wait to tell those folks. Let me tell you what's happening in Alabama, that we got a chiropractic school that you folks are going to love. I also helped write the national board and give the national board in part 4, and we have noticed with some of the educators there, some of the doctors were going, oh my goodness. And we have seen that part of that happens because you got a lot of online education. You cannot do chiropractic online. So if you're doing a call-in, it's not going to work out. And that was another thing when I got here and I hear, we want them face-to-face. And I said, well, wait a minute, tell me that one more time. And he shared that with me. Listen, Troy University's got it going on. And I am so excited. We can't wait. We were able to come alongside, and I'm a firm believer that there's divine appointments, and God orchestrated a lot of things. We happened to have a bill on the floor when we got word on a Friday. I think Dr. Russell shared with us on Friday that this was going to happen. I called, at that time he was House Representative Matt Woods. I called Matt and I said, Matt, we got something. Tell me how to do it. He says, we're going to amend what we've got on there. That was Saturday. Monday, Ms. Devers started working on how that wording had to be. I think Tuesday it hit the floor, and maybe less than 10 days it happened. And that has to do with the most important thing that has to happen, and that's people working together. And that's exactly what took place. Our chiropractic board, your board, our legislator made it happen. and we are very grateful for that. So I'm excited at the beginning of this relationship, and it is going to be so powerful, and I'm excited about that. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Bowen. If you would like a job, I have an office for you. Please welcome, and I would say this, I also just met this gentleman. Maybe it's rare, but he probably has the same enthusiasm as our previous speaker, Dr. Brad Russell, also with the Alabama State Board of Chiropractic Examiners.
I am as passionate, perhaps not as dynamic, however. Good morning. My name is Brad Russell. I'm a chiropractic physician practicing for almost 25 years in Alabama. I am the past president and current trustee of the Alabama State Chiropractic Association. I also serve with under Dr. Bowen's leadership on the Alabama State Board of Chiropractic Examiners. I've also spent some time with Dr. Massey in D.C. with the National Association. I stand before you today actually representing the Alabama State Chiropractic Association, and I want to celebrate with you this exciting announcement of a new chiropractic college, new chiropractic school at Troy University. This is a historic decision. It represents a transformative moment for healthcare in Alabama and the Southeast region. Alabama faces a critical shortage of healthcare providers, particularly in rural communities. Our state ranks amongst the lowest nationally in healthcare access. This new school will directly address this crisis by training the next generation of chiropractic physicians who understand Alabama's healthcare needs and are committed to serving our communities. Troy's strategic location makes it ideal for reaching underserved populations and attracting students with roots in rural Alabama who will return to practice where they're desperately needed. This program will create significant new employment opportunities and attract students who will contribute substantially to the local economy. More importantly, each graduating class will produce chiropractic physicians who can establish practices throughout Alabama, creating additional jobs and keeping healthcare dollars within our state. Troy University's proven excellence in healthcare education through its nursing program and health sciences programs make it the ideal institution for chiropractic education. This program will enhance interdisciplinary learning and research capabilities, particularly in rural healthcare delivery and evidence-based care. Today's healthcare environment demands cost-effective approaches to musculoskeletal conditions. These disorders affect more than half of American adults and are the leading cause of disability in the United States, with spine and joint-related conditions accounting for up to 34 to 40% of all primary care physician visits. Over 50 million Americans experience chronic pain, with back pain being one of the most common. Chiropractic physicians serve as portal of entry providers, screening for a wide range of conditions, while providing proven, safe, and cost-effective treatment for orthopedic and some neurologic disorders. With the ongoing opioid crisis ravaging communities and families across Alabama and the nation, the need for non-pharmacologic pain management options has never been more critical. Options that chiropractic physicians are uniquely qualified to provide. The Alabama State Chiropractic Association represents Alabama's chiropractic patients and chiropractic physicians, and we enthusiastically support this new program. We are committed to providing clinical rotation sites, mentorship programs, and continuing education opportunities. Our members understand that this strong educational program will elevate the entire profession. This chiropractic school represents an investment in Alabama's healthcare infrastructure, economic development, and citizens' well-being. It positions Troy University as a leader in comprehensive healthcare education and demonstrates Alabama's commitment to accessible healthcare solutions. We envision graduates who will serve throughout Alabama, integrate with medical teams, and advance chiropractic care, practitioners who choose Alabama because they were trained here and want to serve here. The ASCA, Alabama State Chiropractic Association, is proud to partner with Troy University in this groundbreaking endeavor. Our profession pledges unwavering collaboration to make this program a national model for chiropractic education. This announcement represents more than just a new academic program. It's Alabama taking control of its healthcare destiny. We're no longer waiting for solutions from elsewhere. We're creating them right here at home. Thank you to the Alabama Commission on Higher Education and Troy University for their vision and leadership. The ASCA looks forward to the first class of Alabama-trained chiropractic physicians. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Russell. I'm always glad when I speak before rather than after our next speaker because he's an impossible man to follow. But it's my honor to welcome our Chancellor, Dr. Jack Hawkins, Jr.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. I'm afraid they've given me an impossible task this morning. They said tie a bow on the package. I think that's already been done. My goodness, with energy and persistence, you know. And when Dr. Carter sat down, I reminded him of the quote, "Persistence is the mortal enemy of defeat," and certainly that's captured in this room this morning. What a pleasure it is, Miss Barbara Everett. Thank you. Thank you for your long-standing friendship. We remember with great gratitude Terry Everett, after whom this building is named. We miss him every day, and he serves so well. And he would be excited to be here this morning to witness innovation in play. And Commissioner Jody, thank you. He led the charge with the Alabama Commission on Higher Ed, and we would never have been here had that not occurred. Dr. Kathy Murphy, we look forward to building more health care programs in concert with Wallace. We really appreciate your friendship and the fact that I'm so delighted that all of these, including Senator Chastain, all of them do have that Troy pedigree, so I know they're well educated. Matt, thank you for the support we received from the chamber. You folks are just absolutely the best, and we appreciate you so much. And what a great place this is today. I want to thank Dr. Palmer, our Chief Academic Officer, for the leadership that he's provided. And Dr. Carter, again, what I think Kirk captured it well. What might I tell you this morning? You know, we shared, Dr. Bowen, with our Board of Trustees, our belief that you know, Troy University sort of follows the philosophy of Robert Frost when he said, "I took the road less traveled, and that made all the difference." You know, we recognized long ago that we didn't want to be the reproduction of other institutions. We wanted to focus on relevance. We wanted to focus on need and let need drive the development of programs. As I look back over the years since Troy University was established as Troy Normal, whatever, I always took great interest in that title, Troy Normal School. That meant everybody else was abnormal, I think. Yeah, we were there. We were established as a two-year college to teach teachers, and we did that very well. In the 1930s, Troy was recognized among the top 10 teacher colleges in this country, and so we have done that very, very well. We began to do graduate programming in the late 50s, and then in the late 60s, some of you remember when Troy University became Troy State University. It was Troy State College prior to that time. And we moved through the years, but it was in 1951, serving that greatest generation in the aftermath of World War II, that we did something rather phenomenal, and it was innovative, and it was different. And that was we went on base at Camp Rucker and began to serve military personnel. That broke us out of that traditional model. Some years later, we moved into Houston Hotel. And some of us remember the Houston Hotel. I remember that's where our programs were offered when I arrived in Troy in 1989. And then I came out here and the campus was under construction in 89 and 90. But another thing happened in 1990 that I wanted to share with you. It was rather personal. My first year at Troy. And Troy was all over the world by that time. We were in 10 countries, 26 military bases throughout Europe, and we were doing great things all over. But a lot of that didn't penetrate what we were doing in Alabama. And so it was then that I was invited to appear at the library in Troy to do two things. One was to celebrate the retirement of of a librarian who had served 50 years at Troy. That was item number one, to say thank you. Item number two, something many of you won't remember, I was asked to file the last card in the card catalog as we moved to a system of technology. Now, some of you might remember that, but as I stepped up to file that last card, and I began to think, how many cards had I touched as I was doing on that occasion? The first thought I had was probably not as many as I should have. But then it occurred to me what an emotional experience that was. Everything I had known from the first grade up through a PhD was with the card catalog, the high touch. And so I turned and I left my formal speech in my pocket, and I told the group this as I congratulated and thanked that librarian for her service. I said, but this is really an emotional time for me because I think it represents one of the greatest examples of going from high touch to high tech that I could imagine. But I also said this as a footnote to those comments. But it occurs to me, too, that the successful university of the future will be neither high touch nor high tech. It'll be a combination of those two. As we look back now, and we really became one of the leaders in online education in the 1950s and beyond, or 1990s and beyond, and today we are recognized among the top online programs in the country, but we are still in the people business. And so that brings us to where we are today. Looking back to 2007, we benefited from the great leadership of another Dothan gentleman, Jeff Coleman, when he served as chairman of the Alabama Commission on Higher Ed. We couldn't break through those ranks to offer doctoral programs, which we knew we had the capacity to do. Finally, Trojans on the commission made a big difference with Larry Hughes and Jeff Coleman. And they were able to get us that vote that allowed us to step onto that doctoral platform. And I can promise you, we have done it well. There hasn't been one unemployed doctorate in nursing practice as we began that program. Today it's recognized among the best. And we're very proud of that fact. But what it did, as we broke that glass, it laid the foundation for more. And today, as was pointed out earlier, 2 years ago, in fact, this month, we were reclassified by the Alabama Commission on Higher Ed as a doctoral degree institution. In the spring of this year, in April, the Carnegie Commission began to refer to Troy as a research university. The groundwork is laid. You know, and it was Henry David Thoreau who said, it's not what you're looking at, it's what you see that counts. You know, so I want all of us to see what's possible. What has been captured here this morning already is so exciting. And I know there are 70,000 practicing chiropractors across this country, and we want all of them to be Trojans, Dr. Bassett. So I hope y'all will carry that, you'll carry that message and help us build here that center of excellence that we desire. And it will be about excellence. We have not sought to be all things to all people, but what we have sought to do is to do well what we undertake. This is another great example of what can be accomplished, not only when you have commitment, but also when you have that which is most important. And as the greatest Alabamian who ever lived, Helen Keller, said, and I quote her often, she said, alone I can do so little, but together we can do so much. Thanks to each of you. God bless you. Thank you.
You see why I don't like to go after him. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Hawkins, for your visionary leadership. Thank you, Dr. Carter, for your, do we agree it was persistence or stubbornness? Your willingness to think outside the box. Thank you to our stage guests. None of this happens in isolation. There's a lot of people behind the scenes. There's no way we can thank everybody who made this happen. But as you can tell, as the Chief Operating Officer for this campus, I'm excited. There's good things to come. So this ends our announcements for the day, our ceremony. We have lots of snacks, coffee, Cokes, you name it outside. And if I could ask our stage guests and along with a couple others, please meet in the Michelin Hall. It's right across our Michelin room, right across the hall. And we've got some important discussions to make sure that we don't lose the momentum that we have from today.